Okay. Okay? I'm gonna take it slow. This first one is not gonna be timed because it's a totally new route. So I gotta change up a lot of things. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're even gonna skip that first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're gonna skip that first section and see what we can do with this corner cut. Because this is something that's been getting on my nerves since the very beginning of this run. If we can deal with both, great. There's a hard limit, probably around right here. So, is it plausible for us to get to 1? First up, we gotta remove all our zipping. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, how far off are we at that point? If we moved a tad bit in, it would not be enough. We moved that much in, it would still not be enough. And if we move past the entire tape marker, it's still not enough. What's enough? That's enough. Can we get there? What if we move down? What if we move down? Can we increase our hitbox? Or is it all based off of the corner right here? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we're just gonna use the corner cut thing. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. Would that black dot count as a corner cut zone? It most definitely would not, but it's pretty darn close to one, so... And then we can go straight in there. Okay. So... I'm literally on... Okay, so... To recap what we got so far. We got zips on, right? Yep. Slide there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 clicks to get all the way there. Then we do our setup for this. Eleven, 12, 13, 14, 15. By the time this is done, yep, there's our first chunk. And now we start on Stone Ship. Then 1, 2, 3. And then once we reach back here, two. Okay. Fifteen's too small. Yeah, 15's too small. We have to do something different. I gotta play with numbers. What's the algorithm for Channel Wood's tree? If I can figure out that, I can do stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh, I figured it out. Oh my gosh. Is a function. T equals T equals 2v plus 1. Six minus v plus 1. It takes tree to rise one chunk at V valve rotations. So 25 is 5, 23 is 7, so on. "15 valve turns was 23 seconds. "20 turns would be 13 seconds. I think 13 seconds would do. So now, finally, "20 rotations. Would be the best number to use. Running a test now. And this one will be timed. That way I can actually speed through certain things. 17, 18, 19, 20. I think I died on that one. I went the wrong way. Okay, 20 is slightly too much unless we're going fast. Which we will be picking up the pace soon, so maybe 20 is a good end goal. That's 4 chunks. That's 5. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so we have 2 chunks. 2 chunks. That's 3 chunks. Gotta be careful. We're at 4 chunks now. Let's not make this the 5th. No, it's the 5th! It was the 5th one! Gosh! I just barely missed it. Okay, which switch did I miss? I think I know which one I missed. Was it... Okay, let's stop the timer for a moment. Was it only this one? Because if so, we need to find a way to implement that. Let's think. Let me think about this one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's try 19 this time. That run's dead because I did blue before red. The idea is I was giving myself enough time to make it to the book before... 4. Three, 4, 5, 6. 19 seconds works, I guess. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I made it before second chunk. Yes, yes. That's what I wanted. And that was blue, right? Okay, what we can do is... No! Okay. 9 minutes in already. Perfect. Next up. To right, forward, left, right. Yep, nope. Left, right. Yeah, okay. You know what? We'll see if that worked. It didn't because we couldn't. We couldn't get back. That's the 4th chunk. We'll do this. We'll do it like this. Because we don't care anymore. And that's the 5th. At 19. Things are a little bit more difficult, but they're a little bit more relaxed as well. Now let's get this last part done in less than a minute, please. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing. Yep. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay. That literally killed the run. That just killed the run. Now we gotta go faster and try and do... No. Should we do 20? You know what? I'm gonna leave this until tomorrow. You've seen my route twice now. I have to do some maths. I have to do some maths because hold on. If I can show you something. It's all about the valve. I'm fairly certain that each of these valves takes 0.8 seconds. Now I gotta do some maths. If you guys want to watch, feel free. Let's pull up this one. And we're gonna open it to a Desmos. We know two things. We know that for every 0.8 seconds, a valve turns. But then for every valve turn, it's gonna reduce the amount of times it takes for the channel wood tree to run its course by 2 times 26 minus x plus 1 seconds. So how much time can we afford to lose to gain? Is it always going to be a victory? If we were to only set this up once, it would take 51 seconds. Then we only move this 0.8 times, but we have to stay in Myst Island for 51 seconds before utilizing a book. Hold that thought for a moment. I need to do something. We also know that the amount of times the tree needs to go up to do really anything would be 5. A minimum of 5. So we can label this y1 equals 5 times the quantity this. So that steepens the gap a lot. And we can make this a graph for points between 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The points all the way down to 25. Same here. We can make points for this all the way down to 25. And then, since we have to utilize the valves 4 times in a run, twice for turning them around up, turning it down, we can easily multiply this value by 4 to see how much times, how many seconds reduce both two things. One, how many seconds X amount of valve rotations takes. I think. No. That would be this one. That would be without the 4. And then we can multiply that value by 4 because that's the amount it takes to do that. This I'd rather have as points as well. Ah, 0.8x. 4 times 0.8x. Control V for that. Then Control V for that. And get rid of that 5. So we're gonna remove this one and this one from the ordeal, and we're gonna bring this up a lot. So as you can see, well, 0 should not even be in here because 0 won't work. So if we did 25 rotations, that would take us 80 seconds, but we would only have to stay in Myst Island for 15 seconds every time. This can be good and bad, depending on what you're doing. Because there's one more crucial thing that I talked about with Zoustus earlier. And the game runs on audio cues. Therefore, if one audio cue is going on, you gotta wait for that audio cue to end for a new audio cue to play. There's a priority system. Timed events will go at the end of untimed events, assuming that their timer has reached 0 by or before the time the unplanned audio ends. That's why Planck has the upper hand if he does at all pages. With his click speed on the valves, he could easily get through certain portions of the run without even having chunks heard until 5 seconds after the buzzer. Also, keep in mind, this is just for the 5 chunks that you need. In reality, you're going to be staying on Myst Island for 3 seconds per chunk. That isn't viable for when you're trying to do... Well, unless you're quick. With this strategy, you can play it safe. You can save 19.2 seconds overall. No, 4.8 seconds by not turning the valve 25 times, but rather 19 times. But at the same time, it's going to take you 15 seconds per stop at Myst Island for waiting. My question is, where's the solutions that call for the most optimal time? How do you come up with such solutions? Well, first up, if we're going to be having a time gain from not doing certain valves, we should be setting this up as 0.8 times 25 minus x. And that should be negative. Then the total amount of time saved from that would be 0.8 25 minus x. And if we're basing off of that, then the amount of time loss would be equal to 2 times 26 minus x plus 1. And then the entirety of that would all come down there. So now, which of these 4 equations do we have to add to each other to get our final result? I think we should add these 2 together right here for... No, these 2 together right here for per... Control V. Oh my gosh. The math for this is eek. So this is not including now what if we did it like that? What if we did it overall? Then we would have to multiply this by 4 as well. Because of the way this works. No, we would only have to multiply that by 2. Because 2 times is going up, so that means we need to hit the minimum of 5 twice. And then the other times are going down. We haven't put that in as a factor yet. So this is overall time save per this right here is overall time save per 1. This one is overall. So that means this one is irrelevant after all. So as you can see, at 25 maximum rotations, it will take 3 seconds for you to hear the... It would take you 3 seconds for you to hear your chunks. So it would be viable if you wanted to get to... If you wanted to get to your channel wood quickly. But you don't want to. At least not this time. This time you want to go for broke and do some other stuffs. Let's say it hit 19 times. That means... That means for every 1 chunk, it takes 15 seconds for that chunk. That means if we were gonna do this for stuff, it would be 15 seconds of doing stuff, or let me think about this. Because the timer starts as soon as you get onto Myst Island, right? I gotta ask people something. Who said... Zaustus, if you're on here, I'm about to send you something over Discord. That's a very crucial question. Because that plays a factor into what exactly you're going to choose. At the end of the day, it's all the same, really. Because you gotta find a balance between safe and risk. Especially if you're gonna go with this strategy. Let's see. Okay. I think the way I'm putting it right here is making it more so of a time loss. As we go up the ranks. Let's see if we can modify that so it's a time gain. It's I don't know. I can't math right now. Oh my gosh. I am way too tired. Okay, let's reset. Give ourselves our 4 normal functions. 0.8x. Negative 0.8, 25 minus x. That's fine, I guess. I don't know. You have many different ways we can word this. 0.8, 25 minus x to give ourselves a positive version of the gain. Negative 0.8x to give us a negative version of time it takes. But we're not going to be probably using that. We're probably more focused on unless now let's work on different things. We have just the normal 2 times 26 minus x plus 1 for just one chunk. That's just one chunk. Then we have the 5 times 2 times 26 minus x plus 1. For one trip to Channelwood. Then we have 10 times 2 times 26 minus x plus 1 for 2 trips to Channelwood. Oh, that's nice. I guess you like reg. Now we gotta work on these. 4 times 0.8x. 4 times... Okay, negative 4 times 0.825 minus x. 4.825 minus x. Negative 4.8x. Okay. This is what we got as our, I guess, setup. We have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 equations we can use. We have to make a new function which details the time gain or time loss from a certain incident. Say 19 valves. Let's see. No, I don't. I don't do coffee. Okay. What function could I use? Which ones should I add or subtract to each other? If I did the 2 trips to Channelwood, that would display how much time I would have to I could stay minimum at the island of Myst per chunk. Then we leave to do other stuff, and when we come back, we go through our next chunk. What might help is if we go back to our game, play it through a little bit. We really only need to do one thing. And that is calculate the amount of time it takes for a page to be put in a book. It's okay. That's why we have 2 attempts. And also why we have a live feed. Okay, let's look back at the live feed to see where exactly this ended. I started exactly on though. Okay, so that's where I started it. I'm gonna bring in now the retime folder. Move that over there. And you know what? You can watch me do this as well. It's going to be a lot of back and forth. You ready? Here we go. First we'll go over here. See this thing? This is what we're going to use to retime what that baby says right up there. Now if we go to our webcam 2, we have set up this. Right now we have it set to the start frame. So if we copy that debug info and paste it into there and be very quick about this, you should be able to get a pretty much accurate time. And that's where we stop. Now is that changing as we go? Or is that just staying the same? Okay. Now, I'm fairly certain that I like to work with good numbers. So we're just going to assume that it takes 3.7 seconds for a page to be put in a book, 8 seconds for a transition. How many seconds for? Now this first time around is really going to be based on one of two things. At least the first channel would. It's either going to be based on the 2 pages we put in after a transition, or it's going to be based on, or it is going to be based on stone ship setup. Whichever one is lower, I believe. So now, if we go back to our game, which I've X'd out purposefully, we can time the stone ship stuff. Okay, good. Let's bring ourselves back to over here, where we will watch the replay frame by frame. That's where it starts. Did I start it good enough? No. Okay. We're gonna use debug info now. 5, 10, 15, 20, 15. 15.434? That's a first. You know what? We're just gonna call that 15.4 just to be safe. So now, for our first transition, it is 8 plus 2 times 3.7. They're the exact same amount of time. However, I'm fairly certain that, based on this, the pages are going to be faster. Because it's going to take some time for us to get to that pattern, like 3 seconds or so, whereas we're in the transition immediately. And we only have to, and we only put like milliseconds on there. Anyway, now we gotta take you all back to webcam 1. Okay. And we can also close out this thing now. We're done with it. We've done what we needed to do. Now, based on this knowledge, it is unlikely that we are going to do any sort of numbers that involve under 15 seconds. Wait, no. Based on these numbers, we aren't going to be doing anything that's under 11 seconds. Because that would... Oh, wait, no. 11 seconds is actually possible. At least for this. Second time through, the second channel would... I'm not that sure. Because we do have that really tough... We do have that really tough pattern. And to do it in 11 seconds without getting... To do it in 11 seconds without getting that chunk is pretty difficult. If you can pull it off, though, your chunks are saved for a later day. And it's less waiting on the chunks to come down. So now we're gonna take this. See how much it takes for just one chunk by taking this and checking out some values. Like we did last time, but differently. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. So the 19 to 21 range is probably going to be the average amount that people try to do for this valve rotation now. $21 most definitely for that first one. Maybe 20 or 19 for the second. Plus, we also have to worry about... Let's think. Stone chip red, come back, do the stone chip page to the library page, first chunk. Stone chip blue, go over. What you want happening is you want yourself spending no more than one chunk of time in Myst Island. But setting things up such that they hit on... that they hit the mark right on the dot during the page means you're going to take about 3-4 more seconds to get to wherever you need to be, and that's going to kill you. Instead, people will probably want to do 15 turns or 16 to give themselves that extra time they need to get back to where they need to be, while also saving time with the valves. You see, that's where those valves come into play. I don't know. Good question. Right now I'm getting 17. Okay. With the 16 valves, we're definitely going to get the 21 seconds when we go to Stone Ship Red and Stone Ship Blue. When we come back from Stone Ship Blue, it's going to be 15.4 seconds to do stuff. We could start by utilizing a shortcut from... No. I'd rather it be a zip. 20. Now this is the thing. We're gonna want to do mechanical puzzle first. If we do it like this. That'll get us our third chunk. No. By the time we make it to the mechanical puzzle, it'll be our third chunk. I want the fourth chunk to come in as soon as we can enter the door to the selenite. setup, room, stuff. Then I want to spend, I don't know, maybe the next, because it's only going to take us about 3 seconds to get that pattern. So we can use the remaining 18 seconds to go around hitting our marks, hitting our switches, making sure we're up to date. Fifth chunk comes, we're immediately on that valve. It's more risky with 17, but I think 16 is going to be the upper limit. Now let's see what that does when we realize that we are getting rid of this is irrelevant, this is irrelevant. We are getting rid of 7.2 seconds of valve turning just by removing 9 valve turns. So at the end of the day, when we finally have when we've finally done 10 times 2 times 26 minus x plus 1 chunks of tree movement, subtracted from subtracting 4 times the quantity, 0.8 times the quantity, 25 minus x, we get when x is equal to anything 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So certainly the time save is coming more from the tree itself. However, we can't really utilize that time save if we're gonna be doing stuff throughout. So at the end of the day, about 3 minutes of time will be spent on Myst Island. Which I think is a good thing. We will work with this more tomorrow. We will add a couple more details to what we have. Until then, I will see you all actually in about 8 hours.